Parent Academy session for this evening. Buenas tardes a todos. Para los padres que hablan español, vamos a tener una intérprete disponible en unos minutos. Gracias por asistir a nuestra academia de esta tarde. Vamos a empezar. Our Parent Academy this afternoon is supporting academics through physical activity from our partner Playworks. And so Jessie is here joining us, and she will be presenting this wonderful workshop that we're going to receive in a few minutes. But before we get started, antes de empezar, nosotros vamos ahora, la señora Jessie de la agencia Playworks va a ser nuestra oradora de esta tarde. Entonces, antes de empezar, vamos a hablar de unas normas. So before we get started, we're going to go through some norms. We want to make sure that our families that are joining the Zoom this afternoon, know how to access the interpretation that's available right now. Y so para los padres que necesitan traducción, por favor miren hacia abajo de su pantalla y pueden mirar este globo. Miren hacia arriba, aquí en la pantalla, y está en el cuadrito rojo. Van a ver el globo interpretación. Cuando presionan este icono, ustedes van a ver la opción de elegir inglés o español. Por favor, elijan español para asegurar que tengan acceso a la intérprete. Y la intérprete se llama Narda. So ustedes van a entrar, vamos a decir, en un canal donde pueden mirar esta presentación, pero van a escuchar la traductora. Okay? If you are joining the meeting from a phone or a tablet, you may have to select more to access the language interpretation. So de nuevo, para los padres que necesitan traducción, si está en esta reunión hoy con un teléfono o un tableta, si eso es lo que están utilizando, seguramente no van a ver un globo, pero lo que tal vez van a ver es estos tres puntitos, y entonces cuando ustedes presionan aquí van a tener entonces la posibilidad de poder elegir el idioma español. So in terms of our format and interaction with this webinar, what we would like for you to know is that we have two different options for families to participate and also join us in a few questions that we want to be able to interact with you. So first of all, at the very bottom of your screen, you will see Q&A. And this is an icon where you can go in, press it, and you will then be able to enter right in your question in Spanish or in English. And we will go ahead and read the question out loud on your behalf, and our presenter will take some time to go ahead and respond. Para los padres que quieren hacer alguna pregunta, pueden usar el icono Q y A, y entonces poner su pregunta en español o en inglés en escrito cuando presionan el Q y A. For families who prefer to use raise hand to ask your question out loud, you can go right ahead, and again, just press this icon, raise hand. We will see your hand raised next to your name, and then we will call your name as it appears on the screen or on your video, and we will ask you to unmute. So we will not be able to unmute you. So it's very important that, that you unmute yourself to be able to hear your question or your comment. Entonces, para los padres, de nuevo, si quieren hacer alguna pregunta o compartir un comentario, y lo quieren hacer en voz alta, en vivo, pueden entonces, tienen otra opción de participar. Pueden presionar raise hand, que es con la manita, para entonces poder, nosotros la llamaríamos a ustedes basado al nombre que aparece en el video de su pantalla, o su video, perdón, y entonces llamaremos su nombre, le vamos entonces a pedir que activen su micrófono. The other thing we wanted to make sure that you understood is that the chat feature, even though it appears at the very bottom of your screen, it is disabled, meaning you will not be able to utilize the chat. However, we will be using the chat to make certain announcements. So it's important that you sometimes go in there, especially if you see if there's a comment or a link, to just know that the chat serves, let's say, as a message board for all of you to look at. And so again, for those of you who have never, been in a Zoom where it's a webinar, this is the format, which is a webinar. You probably have been in Zooms where, well, you can see everyone that's on the call, but this is a webinar. So you will only see the panelists. The panelists will include myself, my team that's helping out from the Family and Community Engagement Office, Jesse, who is our presenter, and our interpreter, Narda. And so with that said, again, we will ask our presenter, Jesse, just to try to keep, a nice, even pace in terms of the delivery of the presentation. So that way, Narda is able to keep up with the translation. And again, everyone is muted right now. And so we will unmute folks who raise their hand to be able to ask their question or share their comment. At the very end of our presentation this evening, Jessie will give her, last thoughts, some advice or resources I'll highlight before she exits the webinar. And then once she exits the webinar, we will then have a process where, like, maybe within 10 minutes, we will go ahead and ask all the participants to be able to complete a Google form, which is pretty much an evaluation. It's like 6 questions. We just want to hear your feedback about, your reaction, your observation of this workshop. So we would have that information in English and in Spanish, so that way all who are participating can give us feedback. We want to get better at our parent academies and our sessions, so we want to hear back from you. Okay, with that said, those are our norms. Entonces, de nuevo, para los padres que están en nuestra llamada, ya saben, este es un formato de webinar. Ya saben que entonces en este caso solo van a ver las personas que están en la pantalla ahora, no van a poder ver todas las personas que están en la llamada. Todos que están en la llamada ahora también tienen su micrófono desactivado. Quiere decir que cuando si usted quiere decir algo en español, tiene que de nuevo buscar el icono que tiene la manita para entonces hacer su pregunta en voz alta y nosotros llamaremos su nombre. También al final de la presentación, la señora Jessie va a dar unos últimos comentarios y entonces nosotros vamos a seguir con la reunión para hacer una rifa y también pedirles a ustedes su opinión sobre el taller, que va a ser un enlace que vamos a poner en el chat para que ustedes entonces puedan abrir ese formulario y contestar 6 preguntas. Eso es todo al final. Y entonces haremos una rifa de algunos 6 artículos que vamos a poder rifar con todos ustedes. Aquí está la lista. Here is the list of the giveaways that we will be drawing upon later on after the presentation. So we just want to make sure that you stay to the very end so that you can have an opportunity to participate in the giveaways and also to tell us how you felt about this workshop. And then finally, we have 2 more parent academies for the month of May. And so these are the 2 sessions, and we have it written here in both English and Spanish. The next one is on the 18th, next week. And the following is the very last one on May 27th. And the May 27th is targeted specifically for our families who have children or students that are in our multilingual learners program. And so that would be a very targeted session. Okay, with that said, and we do have our interpreter who has been helping out and making sure that this information also has been delivered in Spanish. Okay, so Jessie, you are welcome to start your presentation. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Janet. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here and spend some time with you all tonight. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jessie. I'm from Playworks New England. And in true Playworks fashion, we're going to start off with a game. Before we play our game, if there are any kids at home who would like to join us, you are welcome to invite them. I'll give it a time for you to invite them to join us. One of the things that we'll be talking about today is how you can create opportunities for safe and healthy play for your kids. And one of the ways to do that is by playing games together. So this is a game that we'll play together so that you can learn it. If your kids are playing, they can learn it. And it's a game that's really easy to play at home. So our magic word for tonight is going to be flowers. When I say flowers, you will have 10 seconds to go and invite any kids in your house to come and join us to play. All right, ready? Flowers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now that everyone's here, and if you're playing by yourself at home, that's okay too. This is still a game that you can learn and then bring and teach to your kids or any young ones in your house at another time. This game is called the Big Cheese. The goal of this game is you do not want to match me. I'll start by saying, who is the big cheese? And you all will respond, you are the big cheese. And then I'll count down 3, 2, 1, cheese. And when I say cheese, you're going to choose one of 3 poses. So the first pose that you can choose is string cheese. String cheese looks like this. You're making a nice string shape with your body. The next pose you can choose is cheddar cheese. Cheddar cheese, you're going to make a giant circle, like a big wheel of cheddar cheese. And the last pose that you can choose is stinky cheese. For stinky cheese, you'll wave your hand in front of your nose like you smell something stinky. And those are the 3 poses, and your goal is to not match me. Let's try a practice round. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you do match me, that's okay. Good job, nice try. You'll do 2 I'm awesomes, and then you'll jump back in the game. And that looks like this. I'm awesome, I'm awesome. All right, let's play around together. Who is the big cheese? You are the big cheese. And then count down 3, 2, 1, cheese. If you are playing at home and you did cheddar cheese, good job, nice try. You matched with me. So you can do 2 I'm awesomes and get back in the game. And we're playing on the honor system tonight. So thank you for being honest when you're playing at home. We'll do 2 more rounds. 3, 2, 1, cheese. If you are playing at home and you did string cheese, good job, nice try. You can do 2 I'm awesomes and then jump back in the game. And our last round, 3, 2, 1, cheese. I did cheddar cheese again. I might have faked you out. If you did cheddar cheese, again, good job, nice try. You matched me. Do 2 I'm awesomes. For everyone who is playing at home, that was the big cheese. If you were playing at home, you can give yourself a big, oh yeah. And if your kids were playing at home with them, just give them a high five. Thank you for inviting them to come join and play. And they're free to go back to whatever it is they were doing. We're going to continue on and start talking about the power of play and how we can support academics through physical activity. So that game was the big cheese. Just as a reminder, like Janet said, I'll be sharing some resources later on, including links where you can find games like the big cheese that you can play at home with your kids. So my name is Jessie. I'm from Playworks. I didn't mention before, but I'm actually from Providence. I still live in Providence. It's so great to be here tonight as a whole Providence community. And I work at Playworks. Playworks is the leading national nonprofit that leverages the power of play to transform children's social and emotional well-being. We believe in the power of play to bring out the best in every kid. Over the past 25 years, we have impacted 8.2 million kids, including over 16,000 partnerships with schools. I'm also here as part of the Recess Rocks in Rhode Island program. Recess Rocks in Rhode Island is the product of the partnership between Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Rhode Island, Playworks, and Rhode Island Healthy Schools Coalition. This is a free training program for Rhode Island schools and their staff that's designed to ensure that recess at Rhode Island schools is safe, meaningful, and a healthy experience for every child. We're in our 6th year of the Recess Rocks in Rhode Island program, and we've worked with over 99 schools, including a partnership earlier this year with Providence Public School Districts. So it's really great to be here tonight with you parents to come together and continue finding ways to support our kids. Our agenda for today, we played an icebreaker game, the Big Cheese, to get started. We're in our introductions. We'll talk about the benefits of play. Then we'll talk about some barriers that prevent kids from benefiting from play. We'll talk about how to support safe and healthy play for your kids. And then we'll do a quick closing activity. These are our core values. And I'm sharing these because these are the core values that we share with Providence teachers and with teachers throughout the state and throughout the country when we do trainings with them. Our core values are respect, inclusion, healthy play, and healthy community. We want to make sure that every kid is treated with respect, they're respected for who they are, and that everyone is kind to each other. For inclusion, we want to make sure that everyone's able to play, everyone's invited, and the games are structured so that everyone is welcome. We believe that healthy play is both healthy physically and also healthy emotionally. And we believe that when we have an environment of respect, inclusion, and healthy play, that creates a healthy community. Today, what we'll be talking about are the physical, academic, and social emotional benefits of play. We'll talk about how to access games and resources for safe and healthy play. We'll talk about how to use strategies like rock, paper, scissors, and positive language at home, and also how Playworks and Recess Rocks in Rhode Island supports your kids at Providence schools. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the PPSD team. We have a poll about the benefits of play. So our poll is up right now. What types of benefits do you think about when you think of play? Maybe think about how you feel when you play. Some of our options up here are academic benefits, emotional, physical, social, and other. It's pretty interesting looking at the votes coming in, the ideas coming in.
So Jess, we're right now at 52%. Do you want to share the results?
Sure. All right, so this is actually pretty interesting. We had, for a while, we had a pretty even spread, and it looks like there's a lot of responses about the social benefits of play. And we'll talk about all of them in just a moment. But that's something, in terms of the social benefits of play, that's something that especially this year, when there have been fewer opportunities for social interaction, play has been one of the biggest places where kids can have that social time with their friends. Awesome. So do I stop share results for the poll? Okay, awesome. And we're going to talk about the different types of benefits of play, because really all of those, there weren't any wrong answers for that poll. All of those are different types of benefits of play. And play is something that really benefits the whole child. So we're going to take a look at some of the different benefits. We're actually going to be starting with social. So some of the social benefits of play include cooperation, sharing, taking turns, conflict resolution, communication skills, and leadership skills. These are all skills that students practice when they have opportunities to play. There are also emotional benefits. Just having fun, that's probably the biggest benefit of play, and that's something that we really love here at Playworks, is making sure that kids have fun. Emotional benefits also include energy release. A lot of times we talk with teachers about kids having the wiggles, and play is a chance for them to release that energy in a healthy and positive way. Love of life, self-expression. Kids can get really creative with play. Self-confidence, anxiety reduction, and empathy. Some physical benefits of play include gross motor skills, fine motor development, muscle development, aerobic development, and self-help skills. There are so many different muscles and ways that kids move their bodies when they play, whether it's playing at indoor recess or playing at home, or going outside on the playground where they really can run around and move a lot and really have a lot of physical activity. And then we're going to get to our academic benefits, which is one of the things that play does support. With academic benefits, it helps, play helps students abstract thinking, it helps their imagination, problem solving, social cognition, attention regulation, exploration, and mastering new concepts. Play is an opportunity for students to learn in a very experiential way. They're able to work together as a team to think about strategy or think about how they're going to solve a problem. They can set goals for themselves, and it can also help them focus. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, play allows children to use their creativity while developing their imagination, dexterity, and physical, cognitive, and emotional strength. Play allows children to create and explore a world they can master, conquering their fears while practicing adult roles. So I'm going to pause here. I saw that we had a raised hand. And I'm going to pause here and just open up the floor for some questions.
Okay, so what I'll do is we have two participants that raised their hand. So we'll ask Mary Hamilton. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. Mary, if you can unmute yourself, we are unable to unmute you. So we will need for you to unmute yourself. No, okay. So we will ask for Anastasia. Anastasia. If you can unmute yourself, Anastasia.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us. What is your question?
What's your question?
I am his great grandmother, and we're watching together Aaron LaCorn and his great grandmother Anastasia.
Thank
And,
you. Yes, thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yes, this is very interesting. We didn't have things like this when I was growing up. I think it's wonderful the way that you're teaching the young people how to understand what their actions as far as getting into play and pretending and being children as long as you possibly can be. Because when you grow up, you're an adult for the rest of your life. So Aaron, you got something to say? Aaron is in special needs, and he goes to the Robert Bailey School on Gordon Avenue. And
I'm gonna be transported to like can't get to school.
Yeah, we're going to be moving him to Pontigan's school system next year.
Okay,
And we're going to have to get in touch with the Providence school people to help us do this,
that's
you
right.
know, because don't get me wrong, Providence is a great city. I've known it for 79 years, all right? And the only thing I can say is that I hope that they get the school system straightened out, because it's a lot of work teaching children, a lot of work. And I never knew how to do this before. This is my first Zoom in my whole life.
You're doing great, Anastasia, and thank you so much. So you brought up some really good points about how important it is for kids to be kids and for
That's right.
kids to use their imagination. Do you have a
Hola.
question around that? Or would you like me to speak a little bit more about that?
No, I think that you should just have free speech on what you're doing, because you have more knowledge than I do in this area, even though I've been around for 79 years.
Hola.
Well, thank you, Anastasia. I really appreciate you hopping off mute and sharing with us. And hi, Erin. I hope you're having fun. I'm going to talk a little bit more. Does Mary still have her hand raised, or
We're all set.
no? So I'll talk a little bit more about free play, because that's something that's really important, is making sure that kids have a choice in what they play, and having options where kids can use their imagination is really important. It's along with that, making sure that anything that they're choosing still is positive, that they're making choices that where they can interact in a positive way with the other kids, where they can make sure that other kids can be included and can feel safe while playing. We can take another, do we have any other questions?
No other questions right now.
All right, awesome. So then we have another poll. This poll is about the barriers to play, the things that prevent kids from having access to all of those great benefits that we just spoke about. Only around half of the kids in the United States have the recommended daily amount of physical activity. And especially this year with COVID, there are a lot of different things that are preventing kids from being able to play and from being able to experience all those great benefits that we spoke about. So Janet, if your team could pull up the poll.
Okay, great.
And you can share in, what do you think keeps kids from playing active games? Options include lack of safe play spaces, limited resources like money, time, or opportunities, gender bias, technology, adult support or supervision, or other, if there's something else that you're thinking about. There's no wrong answers for this. You can think about your experiences with play, or your kids' experience with play, or you can think about what you see or hear at your kids' school. This year has been a very strange one. So if there are things that you've noticed this year in particular with COVID, you can answer based on your experiences from this year.
Jess, hi, we're at 52% right now. Would you like to share
Perfect.
or want to continue?
We can give it a couple more seconds.
Not a problem.
All right. Well, it looks like there's a lot of it's really spread out across the board. So I'm going to end polling. Yep, thank you. So this is actually really interesting to see how split everything is. And I think what that really shows is that there are a lot of different barriers to play that different people experience. One is a lack of safe play spaces. This might be, this could be for a number of reasons. This might be that there's no park that's nearby where the kids can go and walk to the park and then play. Might be, I mean, we're in Providence. You don't necessarily have a big backyard where you can go out and play. Even some of the schools don't have big play spaces. They have very small play spaces, or they're using public parks to bring the kids to at recess because their space is so small. And the schools get really resourceful. They get really creative to find places for kids to play, but it is a little more challenging, especially here in the city. Limited resources could refer to a number of things. That can be the school's resources. It can be the family's resources to do something like Little League or after school sports clubs. It could be the time, having the time to go and go to lessons or after school sports, or the time to have lots of play at school. It could also be a lack of opportunities if there are no opportunities in your community to play. Gender bias, interesting, no one chose it. Maybe that's a really good thing. Maybe that means that people are more accepting now of girls playing whatever sport and boys playing whatever sport they want. But for some people, they're told, oh, girls can't play or boys can't play. And we want to make sure that anyone can play. Technology this year is really strange with COVID. Kids are on technology a lot, and being on technology, the video games can be a lot more exciting than going outside and playing catch. And then adult support or supervision is really important. If you jump in and start playing, or your kids' teachers jump in and start playing, it really changes things and makes it more positive, because then the kids want to play, they want to see their teacher in a different way and have fun. And also the adult can model how to be a good sport and how to play a game in a way that's fair. Awesome, so we can close the poll. And if you wrote other and you want to share in the Q&A what your other is, I'm really curious to hear what your answer would be. All right. So those are some of the barriers that prevent kids from getting the benefits of play. And I don't want this to be a downer. There are ways that we can help overcome those obstacles and make sure that kids have an opportunity to play. So I'm going to share my screen. And here are some of the examples of what we can do to make sure kids have opportunities to play. The first one is just playing games with them. We played the Big Cheese. We'll play another game at the end. And kids really like playing games with adults. It makes it a lot more interesting. It's very new sometimes. We can also celebrate small wins, whether that is, oh, wow, you went 3 rounds of the Big Cheese without matching me, or wow, you caught the ball and that was something that was really challenging for you before. Look at how hard you've practiced to be able to catch that ball. You can also cheer them on. Some things are difficult to learn, and if they're struggling with a game, giving them encouragement so that they continue and they keep trying, that's really important. And then they'll build that confidence and that resilience, and they'll be able to bring that into the classroom and think about all the times that they kept trying and people were encouraging them and they were able to reach their goals. Teach them your favorite games. Play is a really great way to build rapport. That's why we recommend that that's why we talk about play in schools. It's so important for kids to have rapport and positive relationships and trust with their teachers and with the staff at the schools, as well as with the other people in their class. Encourage imagination play. Let kids get really creative. Let them pretend to be superheroes or pretend to be dinosaurs or cats or something like that. You never know what they're imagining. It's incredible. Advocate for more playtime at school and model being a good sport. When we talk about creating environments for safe and healthy play at schools, this is what it looks like. We look at safety, ensuring that recess is emotionally and physically safe, creating inclusive and respectful environments. We look at engagement, teaching multiple types of games so that all of the kids can find something that they want to play, that they can enjoy. Also providing common language and rules so games are fair. It's not, it's the same rules for everyone so that everyone's on the same page, and that helps the game run smoothly. Promoting adult participation, and then empowerment, making sure students have choice at recess, and providing tools for conflict resolution and opportunities for student leadership. So the tool that we use for conflict resolution is rock, paper, scissors. You might be familiar with this from your childhood. It's a game that where it can be used to solve small conflicts. Did the ball go out of bounds? Was it on the line? Rock, paper, scissors, and you can move on with the game and continue playing without it becoming a whole argument. It's something you can also use at home. I use it at home for chores or choices like, what are we having for dinner? Who gets to choose this? Who gets to choose this thing? And it's really fair. And some of the ways that Playworks supports Providence schools are free training programs for school and recess staff, ongoing resources such as game guides and digital services to support more options and opportunities for play, and recess consultations with school staff to observe recess, set goals, and action plans. I saw some raised hands, so I'll pause.
So we have one person, Anastasia.
Okay.
Hello, Anastasia.
Okay.
Hi. Do video games count because I have a Sega and it's a 2-player.
And your grandmother plays with you, right? Not me, my daughter. I'm no good at those either.
Yeah,
I'm only good at playing, puzzles and things like that. But that's good too, because that gets them to use their imagination and to draw and to use colored pencils.
I'm all done with drawing. I draw enough being on red. Once you just go
You can
off
tell
on-
he's a real character.
Those are some really great questions, Anastasia and Aaron. Look, any kind of play is good. There are benefits to playing. If you're playing a game with another person, a video game or a board game, you're communicating with them and you're talking with them and interacting with them. You're having that opportunity for social skills, practice, and for problem solving. And playing an active game adds another layer to that, because when you're playing an active game, you're practicing the same great skills of problem solving and communication and teamwork and working towards your goals. But you're also doing that while getting some physical activity, which is good for different parts of the body. So it's good for your muscles, it's good for your heart and your lungs. It also causes your body to release chemicals in your brain that help you feel less stressed and help you feel happier. So there's benefits to playing a game inside or doing a puzzle together. And then you get even more benefits when you go outside and you play a game where you're catching or jumping or running around or throwing a ball. Great question. So I'm going to pose a question to you, and you can answer in the chat. You can chat your answer into the Q&A directly. Why is play important right now in this pandemic time? Why is play important? And try to keep your answer. I know this is it's a really big question. Try to keep your answer short, only to a couple words.
Jessie, if you can repeat the question. please.
Yeah. Why is play important right now?
We have someone who raised their hand.
Awesome.
Okay, Mayra de Jesus. If you can unmute yourself, desactivar su micrófono. No la escuchamos, ¿se puede hablar un poco más alto?
Hola.
Y ahora sí.
Hi. Yeah, my question is because I have John Felix. He goes to the school of Spaciano, and we had been working a lot with his weight, and I would like more physical. You know, I know I have been hearing that it's been hard for the kids to be out there, but yeah, physical for me, so John could get in shape and be more motivated, because with this technology, John's been doing nothing but sitting back and playing.
Yeah, thank you, Myra, for sharing. That's something that is really common this year. There's been, for kids and adults too, we're all sort of sitting a lot more. I was never on this many video calls before last March. So there are a lot of great active games that can be played, and I think we'll have time to play maybe a couple more. The game that we played at the beginning, the big cheese, it wasn't all that active. I was playing sitting down. But if someone matched me, I had them do 2 I'm awesomes, I'm awesome, I'm awesome. Any game can be modified to add more physical activity. So one way you can do that is if you're playing the big cheese and Janet matches me, instead of doing 2 I'm awesomes, I could have her do 3 jumping jacks, or I can have her run in place for 5 seconds. And that's a way to introduce some little physical activity. And when you do that a little bit each day, it adds up. And that's why we make sure that we're providing schools with resources for active play, so that they can help get those kids up and moving around instead of just sitting down all day, because that's been a big challenge with COVID. And I will be sharing some resources where you can find games. So there will be a slide at the end with that.
Okay, Anastasia would like to share a comment. And then we have someone else who has raised their hand. Anastasia, if you can unmute yourself.
Lady that was just on, I'd like to say hola.
He doesn't know Spanish yet.
I do know a little bit of Spanish.
I know that Aaron likes to play basketball. Okay. And that's good. That's good because it gets the children moving around, but we've all put on weight because of this coronavirus, and we've all been sitting around watching television and playing sit-down games. But now maybe that we're going to be able to get the children vaccinated, they'll be able to socialize more, just like the adults will be able to socialize more. You know, this COVID is really thrown everybody for a loop. And I feel bad because people don't know their history. And I knew that we were ready for it because I'm an old nurse. I was just waiting for this. I was just waiting for it to happen. But people have got to learn to wear their mask and do what they need to do in order to keep everybody healthy so we can all play together. I mean, my husband is a great grandfather and he plays cards with Aaron because he's 85. He can't run around like, when his father, Ryan, was small, But all as I can say is that I've really enjoyed this meeting. And now I know how to do Zoom because you people taught me.
Thank you, Anastasia. And you're right, this is something where we've all really had to adapt. And from what I've seen and heard from Providence Public Schools, I know that teachers this year have had to adapt a lot. And any kind of play is good because you're building those relationships, you're having fun together, you're still practicing those skills. But if you can find a way to make that play a little more active, like in between each card game, have a physical challenge that you can do. Maybe between each card game, whoever was less successful in the card game does 3 jumping jacks, or everyone stands up and takes a walk around the room. And playing inside games or sitting down games, even if you don't have a lot of space, there are some games that you can play that don't need a lot of space, where you can still move around, stand up and sit down, or run in place. I see Miguel also has his hand up.
Hi, Miguel, if you can unmute yourself, please. Miguel, si puede desactivar su micrófono. Okay. Miguel, you have a question?
¿Puedo hablar español, verdad?
Sí, claro que sí, dígame.
Ok, la pregunta que tengo yo es, bueno, de mi hijo, él está haciendo deportes, básicamente lo que es YMCA, entonces él nada y también tiene deporte lo que es karate, básicamente eso está bien, para mí está bien, pero la pregunta que yo tengo nada más es de que si no tienen más deportes ahí en la escuela, como para, yo quisiera más deportes para él, si tuviera.
Ok. Vamos a ver. Gracias, Miguel. Miguel is shared that he has a son, he's in YMCA, he participates in YMCA, is part of sports, participates in swimming and also karate, and that's all well and good. But he was just wondering if school has more sport available.
I think that's a question that will be good to ask the school, and maybe the PE, the physical education teacher, could help with that. In terms of games that we teach teachers at Playworks through the Recess Rocks in Rhode Island program, we do teach games like basketball and soccer, and also different versions that make those games a little more inclusive so more people can join in. But in terms of if the school has a sports league or something like that, the principal or maybe the PE teacher would probably be able to answer that.
But thank you, Jesse. I also wanted to add, because we're getting into summer right now, there's a lot of recruitment that's happening for different outdoor sports and activities. So, just maximizing this opportunity so families can be on the lookout for the different summer opportunities that are coming up. And the school department will be promoting different opportunities soon, within the next week or so. But also the city does offer some activities over the summer that also will be promoted within a couple of weeks. So Jesse, we do have a question. This is a comment. Play is good, but some things when you have a child that has a disability and it's hard for them to play with others. I just do arts and crafts with my child to keep her busy and active.
Yeah, that's a really great point. That's why we recommend that schools incorporate a variety of different activities out at recess so that you can have activities that kids can play in a group if they want to play with others, and also activities that kids can play by themselves. So that can be hula hoops or jump ropes. It can be an imagination game or hopscotch. Some schools in Providence that I know have a walking club where they walk around on the sidewalk. You know, a teacher goes with them, of course, and they walk around on the sidewalk, or they walk around inside the yard. And that's an opportunity for kids to either just walk by themselves, or if they want to walk and talk with their friends or walk and talk with the teacher, that's another option. Making sure that the options at recess support all different kids is really important, because every kid deserves to have a chance to find something that they enjoy and that works for them.
Okay. No more questions right now.
All right. We can play a quick game. We can play a game that's going to, if you're up for it, it's going to get you out of your seats. It's an active game that is really, really great for small spaces. And it's really popular for schools for indoor recess. This game is called Beans on Toast. So I'm going to stand up for it. If you're playing at home, I'm going to challenge you to stand up for it. But at Playworks, we believe in something called challenge by choice. So if you're not able to stand up, that's okay. You'll still be able to join in by sitting down and playing sitting down. But this is really great for getting a little active. With this game, the goal is to listen to the commands and then follow the commands. We'll go through all the commands together. The first command is chili bean. When I say chili bean, you're going to rub your arms like you're really chilly. And you can do that with me. So chili bean, rub your arms like you're really, really cold. The next command is jumping bean. When I say jumping bean, you're going to jump up and down. Let me see you try. You can try it at home. Jumping bean. The next command is green bean. When I say green bean, run in place. You can try it at home. Green bean. And when I say red bean, you're going to stop. So red bean, stop. And then when I say beans on toast, you're going to duck down really fast. So we'll try it together. And you can play along at home. I can't see you, but I'm sure you're having a really fun time. And it's a great way to get up and moving. All right, let's do a practice round. Green bean. Red bean. Jumping bean. Chili bean. Beans on toast. All right, that was our practice round. We'll do one more round just to get everyone out of their seats. Let's go ahead. Jumping bean. Green bean. Red bean. Chili bean. Beans on toast. Chili bean. And red bean. So that was beans on toast. And that's been really, really popular with schools that we've worked with across Rhode Island this year, both for outdoor recess and indoor recess, so that when kids are at indoor recess, they're still able to play. I would love to see how you felt while we were playing that game. So you can put in the Q&A how you felt while playing. I also see we have a raised hand, so I'm gonna pause and take a question.
Okay, Mary Hamilton. Mary, if you can unmute yourself, please. Mary, we can't unmute you, so you would need to unmute yourself, please. Okay, Mary, we'll give you a minute. You can keep we'll try again in a few minutes. We have Pelula, who has his hands raised as well. Pelula, okay, I believe you unmuted. Go ahead, ask your question.
Hi, Janet. Hi, Jesse. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, I sent a question on the QA. I joined the meeting late. I'm very sorry. So my question is that can Jessica email the parent her presentation about the
Yeah.
presentation? Can you
So Pelula, I did respond, and you can actually watch the video again. It's being recorded live right now on YouTube. And
Sure.
at the end of the presentation, we are going to share the link where you can press again. And if you want to go ahead and watch it tomorrow, because it'll just take a little bit to go ahead and record. So because we'll do a few edits, but you will definitely have access to it on YouTube. Okay.
Thank you. Great.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, Mary, do you want to try again? If you want to just unmute yourself? I'm not sure what's happening.
Or Mary, is it a question that you can type in the Q&A and we can read it from the Q&A?
Okay.
All right. So any questions about the work that we do in Providence schools?
Jesse, are you at any specific school in Providence, since we have so many in elementary schools? So if you can just, I guess, no one has answered the question.
Yeah.
But go right ahead, please, and share. And if you can share also what schools you might be at.
Yeah, that's a great question. So this year, we were able to partner with Providence Public School District and do a district-wide training for all Providence schools. So that was in January of this year. We were able to do a training that was open to any teacher or school staff from any of the Providence public schools. And we had a pretty good turnout we had, I think, 40 people or something from different schools come and join us for that training. And along with that training, we were also able to provide all of the Providence public schools with a digital resource called Keep Playing, so that each week the teachers would receive a new game of the week that they could play with their students, so that they always had a fresh option of a different game to play. All of the games worked with the current school guidelines. That was a really big question this year. Was some schools are not using equipment, some schools are really trying to make sure that kids are staying physically distant from each other. What games can we play? Because it's so different from the games we were playing last year. So with Keep Playing, all of the games that we provided to the teachers, they all worked for the current school guidelines. In the past, prior to the pandemic, we would do in-person trainings And over the past 5 years that we did the in-person trainings, we've worked with Bailey, Fogarty, RFK, Kazarian, Reservoir, VZ, Carnival, Fortes, Leviton, Sackett, Webster Ave, and West, as well
Sounds
as
like all of them. That sounds like all of them.
there's still some more, but it's been amazing to have so many schools from Providence participate. One thing that we would love to see is making Providence a fully rocked district, which means that every school has been trained by Playworks as part of the Recess Rocks program. But this year has been really different, and this year just being able to work with Providence Public Schools in that virtual training that we did district-wide was really great to continue to make sure that each school had the support they needed for these very, very unique times.
Yes, yes. And Jesse, will Playworks continue to partner with Providence Schools for next year?
I definitely hope so.
Okay.
As long as we're still doing the Recess Rocks in Rhode Island program, we'll continue to have free resources for Providence Public Schools. Those include training, and that can be either district-wide or for a specific school. Consultations, now that the vaccines are here, we're able to, if a school is okay with it, we're able to start going back to schools and actually seeing what recess looks like, and then helping schools figure out what steps they need to take or they want to take to make their recess even better for the kids. And we also still have digital services like Keep Playing, where teachers can just access really great resources like new games that work for the current era. I'm happy to continue playing some games with you all. I mean, we talked about how just how important it is to play and to get moving. And there are all sorts of ways that, it's experiential. There's so many ways that you can feel those benefits when you play a game. And just little ways that we can make games more welcoming and more inclusive for students. So you may have noticed when we played the Big Cheese that no one got out. If you matched me, all you had to do was the 2 I'm awesomes and then get back in the game. And when we have really positive language and when we shape games in a way that encourages students to keep trying and keep going and supports them, that can really do a lot for their self-confidence and their self-esteem. I don't know if there's a way to do this in the Q&A, but I want you to, maybe you can just think about it. If there was a time when you were playing a game and you heard someone say, "Oh, you're out, you didn't do that right, that wasn't good, that was wrong," and think about how you felt when you did that. So we talked about ways that we can support kids, and just using positive language is one of the ways we can do that, making ways for kids to get back in the game. And that's something that's really important for schools, is to make sure that when kids are out at recess, they're not getting out and then sitting out for the whole entire time. They have opportunities to jump back in and get back in the game, because the whole point of recess is for kids to play.
Okay, we don't have any more questions here.
Yeah.
Did you say that you wanted to share some resources?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So the top resource, and you can take a picture of this slide. There's a lot of great resources on it. The first resource is our website, playworks.org. Next is a resource for play-at-home games. So we actually have a playbook that you can download for free. That's full of games that are good to play at home with your kids. So it's good to play with a small number of people or in a small space. You can even play a lot of them inside. And the Play at Home playbook has been translated into 7 languages, including in Spanish. So you can download a free copy of the playbook in English, in Spanish. We have it in some other languages as well. There's also a link for the Recess Rocks in Rhode Island program. You can learn more about what we do to specifically serve schools across Rhode Island. And you can also see which schools have been trained. So I know I had a big long list of the Providence schools that went through the 2-day training program. But if you didn't catch all that, that's okay. All of that information is on that link. And then I also have the Playworks New England Facebook page, Instagram, and the Playworks YouTube channel. We have a lot of game videos on the YouTube channel. Some of them, if you're a grown-up and you want to watch it and learn a game that you can play at home with your kids, that's a great place to start. There are some videos that will teach you how to play a game. If you want something that your kids can follow along with, we have some videos that our Playworks coaches from across the country made, where they're leading a game and the kids can just turn on the video and play along with them. And they are games that are aimed to get kids up and moving.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that folks remembered what you shared, which is, again, go ahead and take a picture of this screen so you can go ahead and type in the links on your own, either on your phone or on your computer. That way, at least you can save, the links on your phone. And so Jesse, does this complete your presentation?
Yep, I have, I can share the Play at Home link in the chat. I'll
Great.
leave this up for a moment. Let me see if I can.
Yep.
Can I access the chat over here? All right, so over here, I just shared the Play at Home link. So that's for where you can download the Play at Home playbook in English or Spanish.
Very good. And for those of you who might not have done that before, so all you have to do is just go ahead and press on the link. You can minimize it and then just come right back to our presentation. And then that way you can go ahead and save it in your computer or phone when we're done. But thank you so much, Jesse, for sharing this information.
Thank you. Before I go, there's something that we do at Playworks called an appreciation clap. Is it okay if should I keep the resource screen up?
I think you can take it off now if you want
Okay.
one more thing. I think folks are good.
All right. There's something we do at Playworks called an appreciation clap. It's just a way that we celebrate others and we say thank you. I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and also Providence Public School Department for hosting this. It's been great. It's just been great being part of the Providence community and sharing this information with all of you. So we're going to do you're welcome to join in, a standard Playworks whoosh clap. So on the count of 3, I'm going to clap and then go whoosh, and I'll send a big wave of positive energy out to all of you. You're welcome to join in at home if you want and just send out some positive energy to everyone who's gathered here today. So on the count of 3, we're going to warm it up.
I'm
1.
gonna do it too.
Yeah, come join us. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoosh.
I like that. I like that.
It's so much fun. I hope you all felt that positive energy and that you have a great night. Thank you again, Janet and Providence Public School Department.
Thank you so much, Jesse. This was wonderful. Thank you for all this information, and be on the lookout for reaching out to all of you for Playworks for next year. And so again, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye-bye, you too. Okay, everyone, don't leave us. We are going to do the giveaways. So please do not leave. Remember at the very beginning of our session, I did mention the list of items that we will be raffling off. We have a list of a few prizes, some donations that we received to be able to give away to families. And so we have packets of Roger Williams Park Zoo free admission tickets. We also have $10 Walmart gift cards and also a $10 gift card for the coffee exchange and a $10 gift card for Need Donuts. Okay, and so my team is going to assist us with making sure that we can raffle off these items. But before we do that, we want you to go to your chat. Okay, go to the chat and you should see the link. Okay, the very last link that you see on the chat is the Google form. This is the questionnaire, the evaluation. It's like 6 questions that we would like for you to answer very quickly. And then if you answer these questions, again, it's to help us understand if you were satisfied with this workshop. And so we want your information there. So please make sure that you complete the Google form. Again, press on this link. It'll come up. You just answer the questions and make sure that you hit submit. Please do not forget to hit submit, because making sure that you do hit submit will ensure that we will see your responses, and that will record your name and your responses. Okay, your name is helpful because your name will be part of the drawing. Again, we're going to do this quick raffle of these items that were donated to us from local businesses to be able to incentivize and assist and share information and items with families. So again, we have a timer right now on the screen, and this is to give you time to be able to complete the Google form, the questionnaire again. So in the meantime, while you complete the questions, please do not forget to hit submit once you are done completing the responses. And so you will see, again, that the timer is on the screen. So when you see when it's going down to a minute, that means that we are almost done with the time. Once we hit, a few seconds, once we reach a few seconds, what's going to happen is that the timer will disappear from this screen, and then we will start the wheel, which is a wheel where we will enter your names. And for those individuals who did complete the form, we will go ahead and make sure that we call out your name once the wheel goes round and round, and you will see your name. The wheel eventually stops, and that the wheel will select and stop at the winner's name. And at that point, I will say your name out loud, and also the prize that you have won. So in the meantime, I just wanted to maximize the opportunity, remind you again that we do have 2 more sessions of the May Parent Academy. We have parenting during a pandemic. So again, that's going to happen on May 18th, next week, next Tuesday. And then also on May 27th, for families who have children that participate in the Multilingual Learners Program, you will be invited specifically to a session to discuss the results of the access scores. And that is a test, an assessment that our multilingual learners participate in. And we want to just make sure that we can share with families how to read the reports and understand what it means for their child. And so again, we just have 2 more sessions. Please be on the lookout for any Kimvo messages, which are the text messages that we utilize to make sure that we can invite you right before the session. So again, they start normally at 6 o'clock, but by 5:30, you should be receiving a notification. We're almost close to the end of the school year, but we want to also remind you that we do have the free grab and go meals at the different schools in Providence, at the middle schools specifically. So we want to make sure that you remember that on Tuesdays and Fridays, we are giving out free meals, grab and go meals that you can take, and it's enough for a few days. And so for Tuesdays, you'll get enough for 3 days, and then Fridays, you'll get enough food, for breakfast, lunch, snacks, at least 4 different items of those particular meal times for the weekend. So again, if you know of another family that might, would like to know this information, and you think that perhaps they do not know, please make sure that you can share that on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 4:30, okay, at the different middle schools in Providence. Please make sure to try to stop by between that time. And again, just a reminder about our office, the Family and Community Engagement Office. We're located at 379 Washington Street. We are here to assist all of our families. It does not matter what program they're in, what grade level they're in. We are here to support you in any way. If you have any questions, concerns, you need help to figure out whatever information you've probably received from a school and you haven't been able to reach someone at the school, you are welcome to call us at 456-0686. We are here to help you out. Or if you want to stop by in person, of course, you have to wear your mask. So stop by at 379 Washington Street. We are located right behind the administration office. And so again, the address is 379 Washington Street. We have bilingual staff. And again, just welcoming our families. We have free books that we are handing out to families that come to our office. And so again, please stop by when you have a chance. So the timer is completed. We're going to get started in a few minutes to begin the drawing of our items. And so please do not leave us. We have included your name on our list for the drawing. So please make sure to stay on the call until you, see who are the winners. And for those of you who are chosen as winners or selected based on this wheel that will appear on our screen pretty soon, remember that once we call your name, because once you're logged on to the webinar, when you completed the form, we did ask you to provide your phone number, and that allows us to be able to reach out to you to claim your prize. So again, in a few minutes, you should be seeing the wheel appear on the screen. And as you can see, it's coming up. The names of our folks are on the wheel right now, those of you who participated. And so just look at the wheel. It's going to continue to go around. And then when it stops, that will be our winner for the first prize, which is 4 free tickets, admission tickets to Roger Williams Park. And our winner is Comfort. Congratulations, Comfort. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much. Now the next prize is a $10 gift card for Walmart. So we'll wait till the wheel goes around. And once it stops, that will be our winner. And so as we wait for it to stop, and so our winner is Tabeba Sierra. Congratulations again. Remember, we are going to call you. We have another item. The next item is 4 free tickets to Roger Williams Park. Again, who's the winner for this? Okay. The winner is Rosa Gonzalez. Thank you so much, Rosa, for participating this evening. We have 4 more items, and we have 4 people that are about to win prizes. So the next prize is a $10 Walmart gift card, and the winner is Myra. Congratulations, Myra de Jesus. We will call you. Actually, we have 3. We have 3 people. Yeah, here we go. So we have the 4 free tickets to Roger Williams Park, admissions for Glenda Bernal. Thank you, Glenda. And we have one more. Actually, we have 2. I'm so sorry. So we have 2. One is a $10 gift card, coffee exchange. And it looks like Omar wins this one, Omar, we will call you so you can come and claim your prize. And the next and the last prize is the $10 Need Donuts. So Elua, Pelula, Lelula, thank you so much. We will call you again, please. We will reach out to you so that you can claim your prizes. We hope that once you hear from us that you will come and get these prizes right away so that way you can maximize and utilize them. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Congratulations to our prize winners this evening. Don't forget, we have an academy session for next week on the 18th. You will expect a text. So that way, again, just reminding you of this session on the 18th. Thank you again for joining us. Narda, thank you so much for helping us out with interpretation this evening. And thank you to my team.